This weekend, I hosted a FIDE tournament, the 2025 Medicine Hat Open. I didn't just organize it, I was also the arbiter, and I will also play in it as well. And the first 3 rounds, I drew all of my opponents, took a bye, and now we head into the final round. I was, 2 points out of 4? I get a half point because of a bye. And I had a chance to get the U1600 prize. And I was ready to go all in. And let me show you the game we have today. I mean, this is crazy. A little bit of backstory before we get started. I have played my first FIDE game against this individual, Adam Zazulski. And he beat me with the Grand Prix Sicilian. There will be a card right up here. Go check that game out if you haven't seen it already for a little bit of context. And now we head into the last game of the last round of my FIDE tournament. And this will be the last FIDE game I have played since. And yeah, this was quite a game. I had the white pieces, Adam had the black pieces, same as the first time that we played against each other. And I was going to get revenge against him. So, I played e4. And you all know that I am an e4 player. I sometimes play d4, sometimes play c4, but I am a e4 player through and through. Adam plays c5. And I have actually liked playing the Sicilian more, because I have a new repertoire for it. The delayed Alapin. And the delayed Alapin is such a nice weapon against the Sicilian because you can get an advantageous center and a great position. He plays knight f6, h3, which is a trap line, you cannot take the pawn. And after e5, I bring my bishop to a very dominant square, basically saying that my bishops are going to attack his king side if he ever castles. And after castles in d4, I have a nice position after a sort of amount of takes. And he plays queen b6 after all of the dust settles. Now, the best move in the position is bishop to e3, which is more of a trap line, because if you take, you basically just go into a fun line. I'd have to show you the fun line. So bishop e3, takes, bishop here, you take here, and after knight takes here, you can trap the queen, which is kind of an interesting line that I am not going to see, but now that I have an idea of that, if I play this certain opening in the future, I have that idea in mind. So yeah, he plays queen to b6, and I just simply take, and I just say, okay, you can have your 2 pawns, but I'm going to develop all my pieces, play b3, develop my knight to attack the queen, and then bring my bishop to a6. Basically, you can't move because the bishop's hanging. So he plays rook f to d8. I play queen to e2, and then he brings his knight in. His idea in this position is to basically want me to take and have him have 3 pawns to develop, and I'm not wanting to do that. My knight is going to be important in this game, and in fact, I just want to bring it back. I still have the advantageous advantage because I just have a better position. My bishops are out. My knight is ready to control the c4 square and possibly maybe c5. And my opponent plays c5, and in this position, I thought for a very long time because I was scared of this move c4. I really didn't want an isolated pawn. But in the future, I should have just calculated knight d3 this, knight f4. And then if he took, I would have taken, and then he would have taken back, and then my bishop would have gone here, attacking a weak pawn, which was pinned to the king. Unfortunately, I didn't calculate that, and I got a little bit scared, and I was more calculating the fact that maybe I can bring my knight to c4, and after all the exchanges, I can bring my bishop to hold these pawns, and then bring my bishop back here. My idea somewhat worked. I played knight to c4, not the best move in the position, And then after moving my rook to get out of the way of danger with this bishop, we took here, and the best move, of course, is queen here, which I didn't see and until later. And if he would have played this move, I would have played queen d3 and figured out a way to hold this position. But now, after, like, let's say here, he can now play d4. But my opponent first played bishop d4, and so now I'm somewhat back in the game because now I can hold these two isolated pawns and somewhat get back into the game. I did that, and then he moves back. I start to question myself, why did he go here and then go back? That doesn't make much sense, so I guess we'll bring our bishop back. And Adam decides to go on a rampage of moves that don't make any sense. He didn't just move this bishop here and then here and then here again. No, he doesn't move it twice. He moves it 3 times in a row. Confused, I just slide my rook out of the way. Oh no, you think he's done with moving his bishop? Yeah. He goes back to e7. And I start to question my life choices, like, what is he doing? And when he played this move, I didn't have to think very long, because what you need to do in this sort of position when the bishops aren't active is to gain as much space as you can. So f4 becomes pivotal, and it's the only move that gives white the advantage. And from here on out, black has no play. Oh, you thought moving the bishop 4 times in a row was fun enough? How about a 5th time? I couldn't believe it. I was starting to question if my opponent was being serious about these bishop moves. And I had to punish them somehow. So I was like, okay, well, move the rook out of the way. Apparently, I can already play f5, which is crazy, and just give up the rook because I'm just going to be so dominating. But I didn't calculate that line to be as good as just the rook out of the way. Epic camera fall. And so, yeah, I was like, well, just move the rook out of the way. And so, yeah, the position gets even better. He plays pawn to f5. Oh, you thought pawn to f5 was weakening enough. Look at this. It not just weakens this bishop and this bishop, it weakens this pawn too, and exposes the king, and allows my bishops to get active play in his own area in the future. And that's where I played the move queen h5. It's not the best move because apparently takes, and then doing this is best. But I thought, maybe getting the queen into the position first is better. I still fork the pieces, but still winning. He brings his bishop back, and now I take. Black is completely lost. And what you are about to see is an absolute masterclass of an attack. He brings his bishop back. I bring my queen to g4, threatening mate. He stops mate, bringing his bishop back. I bring my rook to f3. Oh, you thought moving the bishop one more time was not enough? Oh, here about another time. Like, what is this? Like, this is crazy. And so now, he just allows me to play f6. He wants a queen trade. I'm, of course, not giving a queen trade because I'm still holding this attack. I move my queen out of the way. And then he plays g6. Yeah, you think holding these pawns with the bishop is good enough? No. And you are not getting away with this, my guy. Bishop back to c2. This is just not fun for black. Queen h7, hoping to somewhat hold these weak pawns together, but it's too late, my guy. Guess what's coming next? Bishop e4 to attack the rook, and I'm just sliding my bishop back. And then my next move is rook g3. He plays bishop to f7, attacking this pawn temporarily, but you can't leave the square, because if you leave the square, check, and it's GG's. So what does he do? He goes rook to b4, attacking this pawn. But that's the wrong idea. That's the wrong target. And in this position comes my first ever over-the-board brilliant move. Commando, send the missile. Bishop takes g6. Unbelievable. And he takes back with the bishop and realizes that f5 is the resource that come into play. Unbelievable. And it's pretty much GG's. But a little backstory for you. People were being noisy outside the tournament hall. I closed the door because it was open just a smidge for people to go in and out so they can use the washroom. And instead, I come back playing rook g6. Not the best move, but still it's winning. King h7. Rook e1. Rook to d7, stopping this idea of here. And, yeah, I start to panic just a bit. I go bishop c3 and hang a pawn. I go queen g3. He goes here. I bring my bishop back. He goes here, and we trade of pieces. Yes, I still have a good advantage, but the move that I need to play in this position is bishop f4. To then go queen to, sorry, what is the move? Here, this, and queen here. And now attack like this. But apparently, in this position, I played queen here, and I should have rotated my bishop and my queen first. But now, the white queen doesn't do too much of a good job to attack this h6 pawn, and the move that black can use to survive is queen to d5. But my opponent plays it too late. Gets scared of my bishop and my queen battery, and sacrifices the exchange. Now I'm back in the game. Oh, and you thought that was good enough? Well, this tournament is touch move. My opponent, after I played the queen move, touched his queen, was about to go queen to c4, and then realized that was not a good move because my queen can come down the d file here. And my opponent did one of these. Oh. Thought about it. Thought about going here. Then thought about going here. And then thought about going here. No. He did the worst of them all. Queen e8. And I couldn't believe it. I was shocked. I was like, what? You were not supposed to move this queen. Because guess what? My queen comes in, and mate is unstoppable. You cannot stop mate. You go here, you lose a piece. You go here, you still lose a piece. Like, you can't defend it. You go here, you lose a piece. And then I'm going to go here. Like, you can't even take back because it's mate. Like, it's so bad for the black position. And after, like, the move queen d5, it was over. And I won this game against a 1646 FIDE rated player. It says 1488, but that's his national rating. And I was very happy with this win. I got a nice attack. I took advantage of his wasted tempo. And I'm more confident. I'm starting to use more of my clock time, unlike in past events where I was still an hour left on my clock and 40 moves in, which, yeah, I was a little bit disappointed. But around this mark, this F5 move, I had 10 minutes on my clock out of the hour and 30 I was allotted. And I was proud of myself that I actually was able to use more of my clock time and actually think of good, solid plans. I look back now, and after queen f7, yes, this is a no-brainer. Like, I should have taken this, but this is just the start. With this calculation, I believe I am now 1600 FIDE. So it went from 1577 FIDE to 1600. And I'm back into the thick of things. A little bit of history and a little bit of announcements for you is that I played him in my very first ever FIDE tournament, and it's so nice to beat him in my last FIDE tournament that I've played so far. And it gives me a sigh of relief that I finally got revenge, and it just shows how much I've improved over the board. And yeah. So, what does this lead to? Well, I have the standings for you of how I placed in my own FIDE tournament. I got 5th out of 14 players. I think it was technically 4th, but I say 4th because I had no losses. And I went undefeated in my own tournament. And yeah, I think I did pretty darn well. I won the U1600 prize. And that was like around $72. So yeah, it was nice. It was nice to finally get a little bit lucky, but also dominate in my own tournament while being distracted, while organizing and directing and doing the entire thing. Losing sleep for hours and still doing decent. And yeah, there's still lots more to do. We still have a lot more of a journey to continue. We're 1600 FIDE now, but the announcement is that I will be participating most likely in the Calgary International this year, in the U2000 FIDE rating category. And that is the goal. That is the goal for me to do well in, and I will probably be practicing a lot in my Road to Title series. And yeah, that is what we will continue to be doing. And I'm excited. I'm excited for the future, and I'm excited for the over-the-board adventures I have. Anyways, I'm taken, and we're out.